What's going on, royalty? But DJ Kevin here. Usually I would start like a vlog or a DJ video, but I figured we'll do something different here today. As many of you may know, I'm switching to a different DJ laptop. I posted the other day. A bunch of you guys actually asked, can I make a video of me building this computer? So I'm going from this 13-inch, which is super reliable, don't get me wrong, I've had this for like 4 years. It still works, I'm just almost out of space on it, but my editing laptop, the keyboard went for the second time, so I'm kind of just over it. So what I did was I picked up a 2015 Retina display MacBook, and the biggest problem I see people have is that they're not able to upgrade the space. You're able to upgrade the space, but it's mad expensive, like $700 expensive. So what I did was I ordered a 2 terabyte SSD for this. I have Time Machine backups of this one, transfer everything over, but here's the catch. I was able to do my upgrade for under $350. So storage upgrade for 2 terabytes under $350. Retina display MacBook 2015. So today we'll be doing that. There's another upgrade that I want to do in terms of the heating, or the CPU heating and the heat sink on this, and let's replace some screws and whatnot. So it's a used MacBook. I picked it up for $1,000 off Kijiji, so if you can find one on Kijiji for that price, dope. Make sure it's in good condition. This is actually in perfect condition, like there's only a couple scratches on it, but in terms of the corner, you can see like it's never been dropped, nothing. If I open it up, perfect, great quality. So yeah, what we're gonna do today is just upgrade the storage. I'll show you guys how to do it and what I used. So there's a way to do it without having to go through OWC or having to go through Apple. Let's get it started. All right, actually, no, matter of fact, let me just take it back. When you buy a used MacBook, here's what to do. Because a lot of you guys are probably gonna go buy one, then you're gonna buy something, a broken MacBook, and then you get pissed off at it. So you buy your MacBook on Kijiji, you got your new thing, or you're gonna go see one, you finally see it. There's some things that you can do to make sure that it's in good quality. First thing I would look for is any cracks, any dents on the body, on the screen. On these Retina displays, there's like this weird thing that happens on the LCD screen. When people spray Windex or rubbing alcohol on it, you'll see like this weird discoloration. If that happens, it is fixable by Apple, it is covered. Just get the serial number and submit it to Apple to make sure that it is available or it's eligible to get fixed. Secondly, you want to check the battery life. The way to do that is just download a software that tells you how much cycle count is on the battery. On this particular MacBook, it's about 1,000 cycle count. This one I have is at 675, so I'll show you a way to check that really quickly, or you can do a software version of it. So let's say you go pick the MacBook. What you want to do is power it on, hold the letter D. So when you hold the letter D, you'll see on the screen, it'll ask you for what language. This is after holding D on startup. Hit English, enter. What it's gonna do is gonna do a hardware check on your MacBook. This will check the power adapter too. So if the power adapter is plugged in, it's gonna check all of that. Logic board, battery, power adapter, your fans. The fans will turn on and off, they get very high, turn back off. It checks the keyboard, checks for any hardware issues that are in the MacBook. So this is the best thing to do when you're buying a used MacBook Pro off Kijiji or Craigslist or eBay or whatever. So it'll take about 5 minutes to do. It's just doing a self-check. Just give it a minute. So you hear this fans turn on and off. This is checking everything that has to do with the heating. This is probably the easiest way to check if the MacBook is in good condition. So this is, give it like 5 minutes. So when it's finished, you'll see here I have 1 or 2 errors. The power adapter was not tested because the power adapter is not plugged in. Secondly, the battery needs to be replaced soon. It says it's functioning normally, but it holds less of a charge than when it was new. I will eventually change the battery. I won't do it today. Or maybe I'll do another video on how to change the battery on one of these things. But that's the only problems with this MacBook. If I plug the power adapter and do it again, that'll clear that power adapter code. Once I change the battery, that'll clear that code as well. If there's any other codes, it gives you a reference code that you can actually put into Google or call Apple, and they'll ask you for the reference code, and they'll tell you the problem and what needs to be changed. If it can be fixed by Apple or if it's something that you can do yourself, this is what that test will do. And then from here, what we can do is just jump to replacing the storage on this computer. So flip it around, put a towel down, don't scratch your MacBook. What you're gonna wanna do is get one of these things. It's a toolkit that I found on Amazon. It has literally everything for iPhone, your laptops, anything that's electronical will be in here. So pop this open, just find the screw. On this MacBook, it's kind of a weird size, so hold on. Just unscrew the MacBook. I like to put my screws right here. We're not going to be doing too much, so. Do keep in mind though, on these screws, I learned this the hard way. 2 of them are different sizes and won't go into these back areas. So just set them aside or just visually check before you start screwing them back in to make sure that it's the 2 short ones. I'll show you guys later on when I'm putting it back together. So, top is off. What we're going to be doing is changing the hard drive here, which is right here. First thing, so all my tech people don't kill me, undo the battery. Just flip that back right there. Next up, the hard drive is actually right here. Small little board here, unscrew that. It's one simple screw. So here we are. This is 500 gigs of storage. You can set it aside or even use it for an external or backup hard drive. So this plugin right here is proprietary to Apple products. So any other SSD that looks like this, like Samsung makes them, Crucial makes them, every storage company will make these, but the plug-in piece, the end part, won't match up with your MacBook. The problem is when you upgrade to a terabyte or 2 terabytes, it becomes very pricey. So what somebody did, when I found this out, it blew my mind. You can actually use the M2, which every single provider makes, Crucial, Samsung, E-Sata, Kingston, they all make these M2 solid states. But this alone will not fit into your MacBook. You try to plug it in, it won't match up, it's not gonna work. So I found this on Amazon. This is an adapter that goes from this proprietary Apple plugin to the M2 plugin. So this on Amazon right now, I think is $294, tax included. That's Canadian dollars, by the way. And this was 20 bucks. So $300, $350, you get 2 terabytes of space on your Retina MacBook Pro. This will be good for late 2012 to mid 2015, because that's when they switched to the touch bars. So hold on, just to open this up. All right, so yeah, just by looking at it, it's 2 separate setups here. The Apple one is completely different than the plugin for the Crucial. So sorry, for you guys who are wondering what this is, Crucial P1. It's one of the only ones that are supported with this kind of setup. Maybe I'll post like a list or something in the description where you can see which ones are compatible with this adapter. So Crucial P1 was the cheapest and the best one. So what you're gonna want to do, just open up the adapter here. There's like a little notice here, hold on. Because we tested before shipments, we suggest you try it on your Mac. If it can't detect the NVMe, please insert SSD fully. Alright, so it's just telling you to reboot your computer when you, or reformat your computer when you do this. So it's super simple. All I'm gonna do is get this adapter out and plug it in here. So it's gonna give you a little click. Make sure it's nice and stiff. That's what she said. Make sure it's properly plugged in there. And then what you're gonna wanna do is put it right back into where you found your original drive. Should line up perfectly. Then what we'll do is put this screw back in. What's nice is the screw set's actually magnetized, so when you do this stuff and try to put a screw back in, it makes it a lot easier. It'll be a little bit challenging at first to put it in, but just make sure the screw's in there nice and tight. Yeah, I think we're good there. Alright, so just so we're clear on this is the Crucial P1 NVMe M2 solid state drive. What we're switching it out for is a 500 gigabyte Samsung drive. This will come with every Retina MacBook. I used an adapter and went to the M2, which everybody knows doesn't fit in the app. Well, not everybody knows, but most people know it doesn't fit into the Apple MacBooks. Now we have a way to do that, and it's way cheaper than buying one of these or going to OWC and buying a 2 terabyte solid state. Don't get me wrong, I have done setups like this with the OWC, but I just found this out literally like 2 days ago, so I figured I'd share with you guys. Alright, so as we're here, what I also want to do is change thermal paste on the heatsink. It's a known problem with these MacBooks that they overheat when you're playing on a truck or you're playing on the road and there's no rooftops on top of you. So this has been a known issue with these MacBooks that they do overheat. There is a fix for that. You have your CPU there and your GPU right there. This is a 15-inch MacBook. On a 13-inch, you'll just have the CPU. On the 15-inch, you'll have your GPU and your CPU. What we're going to be wanting to do is taking this entire thing off and replacing the compound thermal paste. That's here. So right here, we have the thermal paste, which is going to replace the one that Apple uses. They just use a very cheap thermal paste on theirs. I'm not sure why, but this will help the computer transfer heat properly and pretty much get rid of the heat that builds up in the computer when you're playing, in the sun, or if you're doing a lot editing or you're rendering a video or something like that. So I've seen some YouTube videos and some other guys have actually been able to get more speed out of their computer using this. So we'll try it. I don't know what to expect. I've actually never done this before, so if I screwed up, oh well, let's try it. Alright, so first up what you want to do is just peel these things back here on the fan, and then there's a little cap here that's holding together this little bracket here. Just make sure I have the right thing. I don't. Ah, here we go. Nope. That ain't it either. Ah, I got it. Alright, so we found the screw. We're gonna unscrew this part here. It's the first screw. This is the most challenging, right? That comes right out. You want to set that aside. I'll put it right here. What we're gonna want to do after this is get the CPU and the GPU screws out. Just be careful. There's a spring in here, so it's gonna pop out at you. You can actually just move that aside right there. And then you're gonna want to go there. Push that aside. Now for the GPU. Alright, so now this should just pop right off. And as you can see, there's not a lot of thermal paste on here and it's actually starting to disintegrate. So what we're going to do is replace that. That's going to help all the heating and whatnot that we have here. And while I'm here too, I'm going to just blow this out with some compressed air just to make sure that it's clean. Alright, so the best way to get rid of this thermal paste that's already here is use rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip or some tissue paper. Alright, so once you got your rubbing alcohol, don't put it directly on. Put it in the tissue here, and you can start to wipe off the bottom of this right here. Get it as clean as possible, because you're going to be replacing all of this. A Q-tip is better. I can't find one right now, but it is what it is. So what this thermal paste does is it conducts heat through the GPU and the CPU on the bottom side of them so that the heat can get to the fans and eventually leave your laptop. So the better the thermal paste you have, or the better compound you have, the better it'll deal with the heat that comes from your MacBook, your CPU and your GPU. Don't worry about the sides. The main part is these ends right here. Just keep wiping that down. Alright, that should be alright. I'm going to blow this out again because I have some tissue paper marks on there. Try to keep this as clean as possible. What you also want to do is clean the heat sinks up here. So this is the thermal paste right here. I went with the Arctic MX4. There's a few other brands out there. They all do the same thing. Just read the reviews and see what you find. Some people say put like a pea size. Some people say use like this little thing it comes with and spread it. I'm just gonna do like a little X. So I'm just gonna apply it like this, very slowly. It's very hard to get a little bit. You don't want to overdo it. I think that should be all right. Same thing on this part here. That might be a little bit too much, but that's all right. Yeah, that again too much, but anyways, here we are. I mean, the more the better, right? I don't know. Anyways, once you get that together, you're gonna place this back. All right, so once you have your CPU screws back in, you want to do your GPU screws. Everything's gonna be done in reverse, right? All right, so once you got everything together, put these back, these plastic pieces on the fans. Good there. All right, so lastly, I'm just gonna blow it out again, make sure it's clean. Clean out the fans. Again, this is a used MacBook, so I'm not sure what it was doing before. Not sure how well they kept it. Make sure you just blow everything out, get it clean. Lastly, put your battery back in. The sticker thing. Some people say not to take it off, but I mean, you could take it off, I guess. But I didn't take mine off. All right, so now we have compound paste is changed. SSD installed, 2 terabytes. So once you're done here, you're gonna want to put the plate back on. And what I did, because I stripped the screw last night, I ordered myself some feet and screws. I mean, it's always good to just have extra if you want to order. It's like $6 on Amazon. That's Canadian prices again. So let's replace the feet, the rubber feet, and the screws on this MacBook with some new ones. All right, so now we got the hard drive in there, but it has no operating system. So what we want to do is, what I'm going to do is, a few ways you can do this. You can create a USB boot disk. I'm literally going to take my old hard drive out of my old computer, plug it into the new one, and boot from that. So that's a little bit of a process, and we'll use Time Machine to bring everything back. So what we're going to do is pop off the screws on this one, So again, for you who's wondering, this is a mid 2012 13-inch MacBook Pro 2.5 gigahertz. Switching over to a 15-inch 2015 2.5 quad core, which now has 2 terabytes of solid state space. It has a dedicated graphics card. So that, I think that was something I forgot to mention too, was why I went to the 15-inch is it has a dedicated graphics card for when I'm doing video editing or Photoshop, anything like that. That graphics card is going to help with the space that those softwares take up when they're rendering or doing a background render, which will make it faster. This computer does not have that. The 15 inches do. So if you are a DJ who does some video stuff, definitely keep in mind that dedicated graphics card is something you probably want in your MacBook. So I'm just gonna pop out the old hard drive from this one. I had 2 solid states in here. One with all my media, the other one was running my operating system and all my applications. So I'm just gonna pop the one out that's running the operating system. This is something too, like if you're going from an old computer to a new computer, you can boot off your old computer once you just pop the hard drive out, and we're gonna plug it into the new computer. So here's the old one, and I have this nifty little gadget here, which is a E-Sata to USB. If you're a DJ, just go and buy this. Like you might not have any use for it now, but it helps. Like on my old computer, I use old hard drives as backups. I can do this. Like it's such a handy little device to have this around. If you have a E-Sata drives kicking around, definitely helpful. Power it up, hit option. This will give you the option to go recovery or your main drive. It's gonna pick which one. I'm gonna go to recovery. So now we're booting off that old hard drive that's from my 13-inch. Because remember, the new drive that you would purchase, the Crucial, doesn't have any operating system, doesn't have anything, it's not formatted, so we gotta do that in the recovery mode of the old hard drive. All right, so you're gonna get to this recovery page. This will give you 4 different options. You can restore from a time machine, reinstall macOS, get help online, or disk utility. You wanna do disk utility first because we gotta format that new drive you just put in. Again, this is my way of doing it. There's tons of different ways you can get this done. This is just the easiest way I feel. So you'll find it here, 2 terabyte capacity, CT2000, P1 SSD 8. We're gonna wanna go to erase, format it for, I guess we go Mac OS. This will partition it, set it up correctly so you can use it as a boot drive. There we go, created, successful. From here, we wanna go back, so let's close this out. Go reinstall Mac OS. From here, we're gonna install, I'm gonna go with macOS 10.13 High Sierra. I've been using it for about 2 years now. It's been super reliable. I might update to Mojave, but right now, because I know all my applications and stuff will just carry right over, we'll go with High Sierra. So then when it gets to this selected this, you want to install the OS. Click the one you just formatted. You can label it whatever you want. Click install and give it like 20 minutes or so. All right, so once that is installed, this took about 20 minutes. All right, so we're just gonna go through all the OS stuff, set it up. Alright, so you're gonna get to this screen right here, transfer information to this Mac. Now, I forgot to mention it earlier, if you're a DJ or you have media on a computer from before and you have a Mac, do a time machine backup. Make sure you do this backup, back it up to an external hard drive, a USB, whatever you have, as long as it's a time machine backup, this will make this part much easier. I have done this already, so now all I gotta do to transfer all my info from my old computer to my new computer is go from a Mac, time machine backup, or startup disk. This top option right here. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna plug in my time machine. All right, so once it picks up your time machine, you wanna click that, go to continue. The last one I have, last backup is September 28th. It is now October 1st. I don't think anything else has changed on that laptop since, so go to continue. It'll prepare. This will take about an hour to 2 hours depending on how much space you have. I have a lot of stuff on this time machine backup, so this could take about an hour and a half. So I'm actually just gonna stop the video here. All right guys, so just before I ended the video, I want to show you guys that everything is working. I did my time machine backup, loaded it, everything loaded. I'm now doing a disk speed test. I did it before I actually started the entire install, and I was getting around 700 to 750 on the Apple drive. With the new drive, we're getting anywhere between 1600 to 1500 read and write speeds. So that's definitely double of what the Apple drive comes with. So definitely look into this upgrade if you just want more speed, even much faster than the ones you get from OWC or the Samsung drives that come with the Apple MacBook. So yeah, good to go. New DJ laptop is fully in effect. Time to get a sticker done and then back to DJing. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, if I left out anything, let me know and I'll cover it for you guys in another video. I'll just answer your questions. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, like, share, you know what to do.